Yo.
For president, he's Joe Bob Briggs, ready to turn the White House upside down. Plus, sexy Anita Morris gives us her exercise tips for women over 30. And Ross takes the bite out of a $20 million birthday cake.
You can feel shower fresh, like you just stepped out of the shower, all day long with new improved.
All right, welcome back. Jack Mack and the Heart Attack in Colorado. Oh, and I want to mention that I'm going to our affiliate station in Hartford, Connecticut, WTIC. Are you from there? Well, there's the big 4th of July celebration on Sunday. There's a television show in the Four Tops, and I'm going to be there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, WTIC, I will see you in a moment. Now, joining us on the show is a man who is running for president. He is the alternative candidate. He needs your vote. He is a guy who has his own show on the Movie Channel. He's also a syndicated columnist. I want you to say hi to Joe Bob Briggs. Okay, Joe Bob Briggs, cowboy candidate. Now, you were on the show one time before, and we didn't have enough time to even get into this. But I'm glad that you came back.
Thank you, Ross.
And my question is, why do you want to be president in the first place?
Well, Ross, it wasn't anything that I wanted to do. I was kind of thrust into it because I got 8 million spontaneous letters one day asking me to run for president. And as a matter of fact, you remember about 2 weeks ago they had that primary in North Dakota, the one that nobody entered, last one of the year. Well, I claimed victory in that one. I know,
you did?
Yeah, I can see that you didn't follow it in the media, but,
yeah.
But what I'm doing is people want me to run as a preventative measure. And so I'm running on the condom ticket.
Oh.
Our slogan is, I may not be much fun, but if you don't use me, you might get a real nasty surprise later.
Oh, I see,
yeah. And so I'm the first guy that, my platform is that I wouldn't do diddly. I wouldn't come out of my trailer house all day long. So you can see, yeah, so your life, liberty, and property is going to always be safe with me. I mean, I wouldn't make any boring political speeches. I'd never interrupt the Auburn-Alabama football game for a political announcement. None of that stuff. I would,
yeah. A candidate for our times.
In fact, Ross, one thing, I would never invite Neil Diamond to the White House so everybody can stand around grinning like hyenas while he sings. I hate that stuff.
You don't care for Neil singing?
No, I don't care for Neil singing. And I would be the first candidate to issue a sexual disclosure statement. Oh. You know how we have financial disclosure statements?
That's right.
What we really need is sexual disclosure statements. I don't just mean what women you've been with. I mean what women you've thought about being with. You know, it's kind of like a Jimmy Carter lust in your heart thing, you know?
Sure.
I mean,
sure.
Donna Rice, Fawn Hall, Jessica Hahn, Oprah Winfrey, whoever's on that list, I want them down there, you know, because I want us to know everything, no matter who it embarrasses.
That's right. Well, that's good to keep it out all on the table.
In fact, I want every girl that you never called back. I want it on there, because you know, the reason everyone was so mad.
Every singles bar you've been to.
Right. You know, the thing about Gary Hart is they weren't mad at him for sleeping with that girl. He never called that girl back. That's why the women of America turned against him.
That's right.
You know, so we need to know this stuff.
All right, but what are you're going to have to answer questions like foreign policy.
Foreign policy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I wouldn't get involved in anything, but we got outstanding problems we got to deal with, like this Nicaragua thing.
Yeah.
You know, I say all you got to do is you take one of those Sandinista guys and you pay his way. You show him all the sites in Moscow, Leningrad, and Vladivostok. Okay, now you pay his way to America, and you show him Vegas, Disney World, and Gino's Topless Bar on Harry Hines Boulevard in Dallas, Texas, and send him back to Nicaragua and forget about him. He'll figure it out. You won't have to tell him. You know? Okay.
I see. Well,
Another thing.
You have got it covered, yeah.
Another thing, Palestinian problem, they want land, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give them South Dakota. We're not using it. We don't need it. It's better than what they got.
Well, now, there's a lot of people from South Dakota who would disagree with you there. Yeah, I mean, think about that, too. What about the domestic problems now? We have some things in our own country we have to take care of.
Domestic problem. Well, free cable TV. Free cable TV. If you got...
Look at these voters.
If you got cable TV, you can never get into trouble. These people out in western Nebraska that got satellite dishes on top of their house, they got 400 channels on there. It takes them 6 hours a night just to decide what they're going to watch. Then once they get it on there, you know, cable TV is single-handedly responsible for reducing the attention span of the American people to about 5 seconds, you know. You get 5 seconds into a commercial and you can't stand it anymore. You got to change channels 23 times.
That's
so
right.
Cut down the crime rate to practically nothing.
Okay, now, what about the New Age movement and some of the things that I know that you're outspoken about that?
Well, I knew they'd ask me this in Hollywood, you know, New Age movement. I don't know. That's Shirley MacLaine is into
crystals
that.
And all
that's
that
the kind
stuff.
of thing where she wears a rock around her neck or something and prays to the rock or some deal like that. That's like they got these rocks. You can go up to Hot Springs, Arkansas, and buy them on Highway 7 for about $25. But the difference is, we know they're a rock. You know, Shirley MacLaine, she don't know it's a rock. You know, I mean. I'm a Baptist. You know, you take a rock into the Baptist church and start talking to it on a string around your neck, they'll kick your hiney out of there in 5 minutes. You know,
I
we don't do that in Texas.
see. You don't do that? Well, how different do you think you are from Ronald Reagan, who has been the most popular president in recent times?
I'm similar to Ronald Reagan, you know, in that I'm not going to do nothing as president, but the main difference, I'll tell you the main difference, Ross, between me and Ronald. You would not have to read about my intestines in the newspaper. You know, that is disgusting. You know how we're always reading about Ronnie's gizzards in the paper? I'm sick of this stuff. You can't hardly pick up the paper without reading something about polyp removal or colon fleshing. You know when they write about that stuff in there? And they took him over to Bethesda Naval Hospital and got him all flushed out and sucked dry and cleaned up and everything. So I don't want to hear about that stuff anymore, you know.
Yeah.
We're not going to hear about you. I read this thing about they took a metal steel loop and stuck it up through his urethra and scraped off the prostate tissue. Do you know what they're saying when they do that? They put that in the American newspaper every day. You know, I do not want to hear about that.
Well, I know. I don't even want to hear about it anymore.
I don't want to hear about his colonoscopy. That's
no.
It's this slimy thing. It drips.
Joe.
I can't believe it.
Well, I can't. Now, we're not done with you yet, because I want to ask our audience to pick some questions out. We're going to do that after a break. And right now, what a time I have picked now to introduce a new sponsor after that last deal. But this is a very nice product, and we're happy that they're here. And there will be no osteomosis or anything with this thing. This is a brand new advertiser called Alpo Light. It is a great new dog food. Wait a minute, wait. Let me get through this. Nobody's eating this time of night anyway, are they? It's a great new dog food that helps your dog have its big appetite at their ideal weight. And we will return after this message.
Pounds. But now there's...
All right, here we go. Welcome back to the Late Show. We have as our guest cowboy candidate Joe Bob Briggs, and now I'm going to ask if any of you have questions you would like to pose to the candidate. Raise your hands, go ahead, and I'll just pick somebody here. All right, why don't you, sir, would you want to stand up there, and what is your name?
Ray Snyder.
Okay, we can shake, Ray. Ray, where are you from first?
Blairstown, New Jersey.
Blairstown, New Jersey.
Yes.
All right. Okay, what's your question for Mr. Briggs?
My question for Mr. Briggs is, would he put out the drug concession stand at the White House out for public bid?
The drug concession stand.
Yeah, that's a good. Actually, that fits in with my new drug program, the Just Say Yes campaign. Because you know we could bankrupt those guys in Colombia easy in 30 days because the first one's always free. So just get everybody to go around and buy those things up. Just say yes, and you know they have Indians making that stuff. They can't make it that fast. And
okay. All right. Well, now let's see. Who else? Oh, you have a question here? All right. What is your name?
Pam Lamb.
And Pam Lamb? This is a joke, isn't it? Okay, where are you from, Pam Lamb?
Cairo, Ohio.
Cairo, Ohio. Okay, what's your question for the candidate?
I was just wondering what you plan to do with all the fat people, because they're always hogging 2 seats everywhere that you go.
Well, I'll tell you what we do with skinny people named Pam Lamb.
I'm a big supporter of fat people. In fact,
Joe, that was a nice position to take, I think.
I have a chapter in my book, Ross, which I think you've read, which tells you that if you're fat, how to get a whole lot fatter, but to feel good about being fat. And as a matter of fact, I have a chorus line that appears with me sometimes called the Dancing Bovina Sisters, and it's 8 girls with a combined weight of 2,200 pounds, and when they tap dance, it's like a buffalo herd. It's something.
The Bovina Sisters. Who else? Who else got a go? All right. What is your name?
Susan Lynch,
Susan Lynch. Okay, where are you from, Susan?
St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay, Minnesota. What's your question?
My question is, what can you do about all the sex on television?
Oh, sex on television.
Susan, you need to stop having sex on your television set and start having it in bed like everybody else.
All right. Why don't you stand up there, sir? What is your name?
Chuck Keel.
Hi, Chuck. Where are you from?
Charlottesville, Virginia.
All right, from Virginia. All right, what's your question?
I want to know, is it true that Jim Baker and Jimmy Swaggart are major contributors to your campaign?
Oh.
Now, see, you're trying to embarrass me, but actually, I was one of the supporters of Jimbo Baker when that thing happened down at my church, the Church Under the Rock in Grapevine, Texas. We had an all-night prayer vigil to support Jimbo, and we said, you know, people are kicking dirt on him. They're saying that he's got sin oozing out of his loins and everything, but we need to send him a Christian message, a compassionate message, and a love message to him and his lipstick lizard wife, too. And you know, and so we said, we got down and we prayed for him and we said, Jimbo, now listen up, boy. $240,000 is way too much to be paying for Nookie. That is not good stewardship with the Lord's money. Now look at Jimmy Swaggart, $10. That's all he paid.
All right, thank you for your question. We have one more? We take one more question? All right, have you? What's your name?
Jeff Holder.
Hi, Jeff. Where are you from?
Middletown, Ohio.
Middletown, Ohio. Okay. What's your question?
I got 2 questions
Well,
for
see,
you.
I think we only have time for one. We better...
Okay, are you dating Bridget Nielsen?
Listen, everybody's dating Bridget Nielsen.
All right, you have another question? We'll take your other one.
Yeah, why are the tickets to this show free?
Are the tickets to this show free? They're $37.50. Did you get in free? Collect your money from that guy.
All right. Joe, I want to thank you very much. Joe Bob Briggs. Good luck with your candidacy. All right. We'll be back more with the Late Show after this. Welcome back. Here we'll have 3 or so items, and you figure out which one you think was right. Here's the first one. Here's a picture now. Now, Dick Gregory is in this picture. He's highlighted there with some other people. In this picture is Dick, number 1, a comedian, number 2, a nutritionist, or 3, an hors d'oeuvre. Which one do you think he is? You think he's... No, 1 and 2. 1 and 2. All right, how about this one? In a recent taste test, Michael Spinks preferred, number 1, Coke, number 2, Pepsi, or number 3, Canvas. You're right. It was Canvas. All right. Now, which of the following men is probably guilty in the Pentagon scandal? Is it number 1, Melvin Paisley? Is it number 2, Melvin Paisley? Or number 3, Mrs. Paisley's son, Melvin? All right. You're doing pretty well at this. All right, what is wrong with this picture? This is a picture of Ed Meese. What's wrong with it? Are his lapels too wide, number 1? Number 2, his hair is parted on the wrong side. Or 3, he is still employed as Attorney General. Okay. All right, how about this one? Now, Billy Martin was in the news this week. And Billy Martin reports that he has offers to manage, number 1, the Minnesota Twins, number 2, the Baltimore Orioles, or number 3, a Taco Bell in Tacoma, Washington. You're right, number 3. That's locked up. All right, now I got one more here. What is the worst contract the Pentagon has signed? Number 1, buying missiles from Northrop, buying F-14s from McDonnell Douglas? Or 3, we're going to have to take a look at this, buying tanks from Oscar Mayer. All right, we'll check the videotape, see if you're right. There they are. That's what they bought. All right. You did very well on that quiz. Now, there was another big news event that happened this weekend. This weekend marks the 75th anniversary of the city of Beverly Hills. Well, they do everything in big style in Beverly Hills. And to be with us right now to celebrate is a guy named Count Enrico Carimati and a $20 million diamond-studded slice of cake.